Hey guys, finally we get the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and here is the recap for Driving Miss Crazy. Okay, after watching this episode, I feel like the previous episode, hold on, let me check real quick. I feel like, yes. Okay. So the previous episode was called Housewarming History Lesson. I feel like the title of the previous episode was mixed up with this title because for some reason these girls are really hard on history lesson, history, learning about each other and taking notes. I feel like, okay, this episode could have had history lessons in the title. But this one is called Driving Miss Crazy. But I didn't like the title for this one because the only driving situation we had here is when Melissa was teaching her daughter how to drive. And that play on Miss with crazy and stuff like that is okay and cute. But I felt like the title of this episode could have been different. I felt like this one was all about history lesson. So let's get into this episode. So, okay, guys, where we last left off, remember the girls, they were fighting, they were going at each other. But then I like moving on from a scene, typically what they do is that they do a little recap and then we get right back into that scene where the girls are typically are fighting and we complete that scene. But luckily for us, that scene last episode was completed. Rachel left the party. So now we open off this episode with Joe helping out Marge get into her pants, helping her get ready, which I thought was hilarious because I kind of like seeing their banter, their relationship, which is what I would prefer instead of seeing Marge go after, or the girls go after Marge, whichever take you want to take on it. I just feel like I like to see fun moments and not these fighting moments about something so silly. Let it be serious, guys. Let it be serious. We then get a scene with Polly and Dolores, and Polly's joking on Dolores saying because she's complaining about how she's feeling, and he's saying, "Oh, this could be the big M, the big M." And she's like, "Shut up, you are not talking about menopause." So I like that we got to see that scene with Dolores and Polly because, we kind of eyeing Polly. We're observing and we're taking our notes. Do we like Polly? Do we not like Polly? I'm on the fence about it because, I'm excited for Dolores. If Dolores is bringing on a man, she shows her man to the world, unlike these other ladies. At least we get to see who's involved in Dolores' life. So I did like seeing Polly and Dolores have their interaction. Then we get into the scene with our new housewife, Miss Danielle, and she is with her kids, and they are practicing their entrance look for a Barbie party. I'm like, a Barbie party? First you got a mozzarella party, but now we're gonna get a Barbie party. I feel like Daniela, she is taking charge, showing the girls that she's a party planner and that she wants to have fun. She wants everyone to get to know her, and I like how open she is. And plus, I like her kids, I like her family, so I don't mind seeing these scenes from her. It's much better than some other housewives that we get a scene with their family and it's like, okay, what's going on? But I love Danielle. Danielle, she's hyping up her kids, getting them ready to prepare for their entrance look for her baby girl's Valentina's birthday party, and the theme is giving Barbie. So I'm happy, and I'm excited to see this because I think back and flash back to Teresa, because Teresa, she has like so many baby girls, so she would throw lavish parties for her girls. So I'm like, Danielle's like a baby Teresa. So I'm excited. And the girls, oh my god, her daughter is so cute. She's like, her mom asked her, "So who'd you invite to your party? Who's coming to the party?" And she's like, her boyfriends. And I'm like, not one, but two boyfriends that she invited. And it's hilarious because the parents are like, "You don't have a boyfriend." And then the son is like, "They're way out of your league." And I'm like, this family is way too cute. This is a perfect fit. This is too much moments in a short period of time, and we just started the episode. I love it. Like 3 minutes in, already in love. Perfect, 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 perfect. So she says pretty much she has a guest list in mind. She's inviting, of course, her family. And, she started naming some other invites. Teresa, Jennifer Aiden, Rachel. But she's kind of indecisive of inviting Rachel and Jen together because of their issues with one another. And she's actually going to use Fessler's party pretty much as a test on whether or not these girls going to make it to the cut and show up to this Barbie party. Because if you're not at the Barbie party, where you at? Because you missed the mozzarella party. You don't want to be X out of the Barbie party, okay? Danielle's going to give a party. So we move on to our next scene, to Miss Rachel. And I'm like, okay, this episode is giving all the love to the new housewives. We're getting to know these new housewives, and we're actually getting invested. Okay. So Rachel is with her family. They're doing a family gathering. Her immediate family and then her relatives, her grandma and her parents are coming over. And this family is super, super present. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm watching like a whole sitcom going on situation. And I'm like, okay, Bravo. You are making it work for Housewives of New Jersey. You guys are getting the cast together. I like it. The grandma is hilarious. The grandma, she is so funny. She's like having her moments being a grandma, saying, you guys gotta run me a check because y'all messed up my hairdo. Coming out here, y'all messed up my hairdo. Who's gonna fix my coiffed hair? Like, who's gonna run me a check? Okay. I said, okay, grandma's hilarious. So I love that we're getting to meet Rachel's family, and they all have a sit down. They're eating, very family-like. You see the burgers. They're not like Teresa's family, so you get the burgers. And pretty much, they ask about how the situation was over. Oh no! Before that, they talk about if they're thinking about having a new more kids. And, I would be supportive. I'm rooting for Rachel. Whatever Rachel wants, Rachel should do. And she wants more kids. Her husband is hesitant about it. And her stepson, he's like, we are full. He said, no more. He said he cannot even fit in the car to go down to the beach, okay? So he said, we are full. So I don't know if this is gonna be the final conversation about this situation, about having more kids. I doubt it, but I feel like this is like a tester to see how the family feels about it, and we'll see. I mean, Rachel, we're here to see what you got going on. So now, okay, the family actually asked, I guess they knew about this, they asked, so how did Teresa's party go? And I'm like, dang, how do they know about that? They must be very close and talk a lot for them to ask, the family to ask, how was Teresa's party? Dang, Teresa, you should have sent them an invite. They sound like they wanted to be there. And pretty much, Rachel, she tells how she had an issue with Jennifer Aiden and her talking about her nose. And the family did not like that Jen was messing around with their baby. Not with her baby Rachel. No, I'm like, Jennifer Aiden, you better be careful. You better hope Teresa don't send an invite to Rachel's family, because I feel like they will get an invite before Melissa's family. And you better be careful, Jennifer Aiden. You may get jumped by grandma, because I feel like Rachel's grandma, she's about that life. Even though she's short, she's about that life. And I just love the scene with the family. It was super, super, super appreciated and good because, she's a new housewife. You should be getting to know her and, falling in love with her pretty much to see if this will work in this franchise or not. So I'm happy. I'm happy. We then get a scene with Melissa and her daughter Antonia, and she's learning how to drive. Oh my God, I love when the housewives teach their baby girls or sons how to drive. And it's Antonia's turn. Like, I like the whole setup where they have the whole cones and they learn how to do test drive, how to park, how to back up, move forward. But no, Melissa says, okay, you gonna learn how to drive, but let's drive through this. Let's go through this drive through and make go into the line. And oh my God, this is such an important skill set because a lot of people do not know how to drive in the drive through. Like, you have to be careful not to hit the curb. You have to make sure you get in line properly. You don't cut people. You don't want to be that girl to cut people in the drive-through line. Some people don't want to act like they don't know where the drive-throughs start. Okay, at Chick-fil-A. I see you girls. And I thought it was hilarious. And the daughter was like, I can't do it. And they switch. And I'm like, oh no, you should have had your daughter commit to it because that's an important skill, how to go through the drive-through. This is like not spoken about, not talked about, but this was a good moment because honestly, I'm like, Melissa, you need a storyline. I need you to interact more with your kids. I need you to do more. Okay, so it was cute to see that. But the most hilarious moment is she gives a fake name at the drive-through. I don't know if it was necessary. I mean, saying the name Melissa is like a very, very common name. I think maybe Cher, like, oh, who's coming around that's called Cher. But I don't know if much speculation would happen if someone said, oh, they say, what's your name on the order? My name is Melissa. Oh, they may be Melissa Gorga. That may be Melissa Gorga. I'm not girl. It is not that deep. So her fake name is Julia. So be on the lookout, New Jersey, if Julia is ordering, because Julia is definitely more generic than Melissa. Because when I think of Julia, I think of Julia Childs. I think of Julia Roberts. Okay, Melissa. Let me see. Oh, who we know as Melissa? Melissa Joan of Art. Is that yeah. Melissa. Who you got? Who we know that's named Melissa? I think that's all I have for a Melissa. But yeah, it's okay, Melissa. It's okay to be extra. I didn't mind that. It was actually a funny moment that we got from you. As long as you're not fighting, I love a funny moment. We can live. So she has a talk with her daughter before the car ride ends. And she says to her daughter, like, I hope that she's not upset with her aunt Teresa, because she knows her daughter sees the articles that are posted up online, you know, and she doesn't want her daughter to feel that this has anything to do with her, and she still supports her talking to her cousin. And of course, we learned that Antonia, she does talk to the cousins, and that they don't participate in the beef. And Melissa is very strong to tell her daughter that it's a must for her to have a strong relationship with her brothers, okay? And I think that's fair. So we get into the next scene, and it's bridal shopping with Teresa, okay? And I like this moment that we get to see with Teresa that she shares with Adriana and Gia. And it's an emotional moment because she's thinking on what to add to her veil to make it, you know, unique and special, as every bride would want. And it comes to her to add a special message. And now, you guys, I cannot speak Italian, so I don't want to butcher it, but it was something that was really, it sounded really good. Siempre, but the message essentially is to commemorate her parents and make her feel like her parents are walking down the aisle. And I thought that was a good idea. So, because before she had the thought to just put love on it. But I think this idea of commemorating her parents, to make her feel that her parents are walking her down the aisle, I think that's such a better idea. And of course, she got emotional about it. So yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. So, you know, it's interesting. They had a talk with the girls, and they talk about the issue with Teresa's brother not coming to her party, to her housewarming party, and to think that he's not even gonna come to her wedding. They think it's strange because, interesting enough, they actually mentioned, the girls, they mentioned that before Louis, they were actually quite closer than they ever had been with Joe and Melissa, that they used to hang out, but things have changed since then. And I think it's weird that since Louis came into the picture, that they're not as close as they once were before. And I thought that was sad. I wonder if there's anything to do with that. And Teresa's gonna protect her man. So if it has something to do with Louis, Teresa doesn't want anything to do with that. And that's for sure. For sure. We then get a lunch date with Melissa and Jennifer Aiden. I did not see this coming. I was a little bit unprepared for this. I'm like, these two on a lunch date together by themselves, no witnesses? At least it's in public. Those two were not going to meet at each other's home. They needed a witness for that, okay? Because the way these two like to throw things at each other and yell and scream at each other, I would not have thought that they would even think of doing a lunch date together. So I was a bit shocked. But, I was fascinated. I wanted to see, okay, what will come out of this? And, the girls, they want to start a new friendship. They want to make things right. And they kind of reminisce about the friction. I'm like, girls. And what it comes down to is that what was really an issue for Jennifer was that she didn't like that Melissa was pretending that she wanted more kids. And I don't know. It could have been true, it could have been false, but I don't think that's a real solid reason why to have an issue with someone. I know that Jennifer, she loves family, she loves kids, taking care of kids, that's her whole deal. That's her, a little bit of her identity, And she didn't like how Melissa was playing around with that, saying, that she wants that for herself, when how Jennifer, that's her thing, that's her jam. So I can see it, but I kind of don't get it either. So okay, Jennifer, that's an interesting excuse. So pretty much they actually talk a little bit more, and what comes up is the issue with her husband and the kids. And honestly, she actually opens up and she says that they don't fight about the affair. Like, the affair is not the issue for Jennifer. The issue with her husband, to connect it to the point of why she called Jen Fessler seeking out for a counselor, is because her husband kind of comes off as the boss and only views Jennifer as his worker to take care of the kids in the way he wants to, without considering her viewpoint of how she wants to raise her kids, and making her feel like an equal in this relationship. So, this gets to the point, to the conversation where Jen says that Margaret is reaching, saying that she shouldn't focus on, she's trying to spin a narrative. Margaret's trying to spin a narrative on Jen to make it feel like, she wants to gossip and have issues with Margaret, when in actuality, it's the other way around. And that Margaret has issues with her friends, that she keeps losing friend after friend after friend, and she's just projecting. And she points out to Melissa, it's oddly enough that Margaret encourages Melissa to leave Joe, and that Margaret suggested her to go with the ball player. And you see Melissa, I didn't know about this, but Melissa said, yeah, she did mention that, but she didn't take it as serious. And she also made it clear to Jennifer that she brought it up to her husband. So you can't run to my husband and act like you know something that he doesn't know. Okay, I caught that real quick. Okay, and I just thought that was interesting, because soon enough we're gonna get the rumors about Melissa being seen with another man, and I'm like, this is a setup, Melissa. This is a setup for cheating allegations. Okay, oh my God, and she fell right for that trap. So, is it a reach for Jen? I don't know if Jen is trying to be a good friend or trying to manipulate and finesse the situation. But we got to stay tuned to that. This is a little bit juicy. This is a little bit juicy, guys. What you think so far? So we get into Jen Fessler's brunch. And I like Jen Fessler brunch because she seems like a foodie. Like she doesn't like to share, so therefore she's gonna have plenty to eat. So I kind of looked at the table and what they were what was it giving, and I don't know. I saw a biscuit that was a little burnt. I was like, ooh, 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 a burnt biscuit. Ooh, no. So Melissa arrives, and pretty much she gets into the details with Margaret and Jen Fessler about the info she got from Jen. And pretty much she run everything down to Margaret. And this already hypes Margaret up. I'm like, damn. It's really easy to get Margaret activated, to get her hot. And I'm like, Melissa is an instigator. And, pretty much she was saying that, Melissa gotta be careful around Margaret because Margaret's trying to break up her marriage, and then Margaret is being defensive, and she's trying to defend for herself, but she's out for blood. I'm like, oh no, I hope Jennifer Aiden is not invited to this party, or her foot gives out and she don't show up to this party. Okay. So I finally, my favorite girl, she comes into the party, Danielle. And I'm like, every time Danielle comes in now, I feel like all the girls are looking at her outfit. It's like, what the hell Danielle got on now? And, it was cute. It was a cute moment. She looked very Housewives-ish. Is she stylish? We haven't seen enough outfits, but I feel like she's giving us different moments. She gave us mom. She gave us housewife. I'm still waiting for that standout, whoosh, very chic look. But, she gives us housewife. And I'm like, okay, Danielle. But then Jackie comes in. I'm like, oh, damn, Jackie's here. I'm waiting for Jackie to look her up and down. This was Danielle's moment to joke about it some more with Jackie. Miss Jackie, to say, Jackie, you like my look? What you think of my look today? Like, just to make fun of the moment. And maybe a good friendship could come out of it because, damn, when Jackie came in, Danielle offered her a seat next to her, and Jackie had no interest in it. She was like, nope. And she sat on the opposite side, on the other side of the table. And I'm like, damn. So the girls, they talk about Danielle's relationship with her brother. And I feel like this is so silly. I don't know. I feel like we need to hear more to this story because it's not enough. And the girls just think this is probably just how the new generations have issue. Like, I'm like, they gotta be more to it. And I feel like, Danielle, she's playing it smart. She's setting herself up so that, maybe in the future, her brother want to come on the show and set the record straight. Because I'm pretty sure he's not going to like her saying, oh, this is the issue, when that may not be the issue. Because it does sound silly. I mean, I'm sorry. I like you, Danielle, but it sounds silly. Y'all need to talk to each other. And hopefully it is this silly. I hope it is this silly and nothing too deep. So you guys can, work things out, okay? So pretty much all the ladies are invited to the party. I think everyone got an invite to Gym Fest. I don't know, Gym Fest, what you were thinking. Why'd you invite all the girls? Pretty much Teresa, she comes in, and, that's when the convo kind of switch over to Jen Aiden. And they're talking about the situation, what Jennifer said to Melissa, and how Jennifer is pretty much telling all these girls not to talk to one another, but pretty much talking trash about them, talking trash about one to the other. So I thought, why are we having this conversation in the first place? Y'all obviously want to get the girls activated so that when Jennifer shows up, y'all are ready to attack. And guess who showed up right after? I'm like, damn. It is as if they planned when she's gonna roll up to the scene. I'm like, her foot could have stayed home. I saw her little foot. She really, really, really tried. So she walks in, and of course, the girls are taking some low blow shots to get her activated. And Jennifer gonna take the bait. They being passive aggressive, talking to each other about, one is braggadocious. No, it's not being braggadocious. It's about stating facts, okay? And I'm like, this is where is this going? And Margaret pretty much gets to the point and say how she's calling her out for what she said to Melissa. And pretty much Jennifer Aiden is like, you can't tell me what to talk about. You can't tell me what to talk about. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing here? They're pretty much comparing each other to what the other has done and who has done worse. And they're like pretty much sharing history and giving a history lesson, as the title should have been. But obviously, the production probably made a mistake. They probably did. But then it switched over to who loves each other more. It seems like Margaret is chasing after Melissa's love. Like, she wants Melissa to love her. She don't want to lose Melissa as an ally. That's a bad strategy, because if you lose Melissa as an ally, you lose Joe. Okay? And in this game of Housewives, you either have Teresa on your side or you have Melissa on your side. Okay? If you don't have one or the other, you pretty much on an island by yourself. And you may not come back next season for a check. And you know what Margaret not going to play about? It's a check. Okay? So I thought this was super childish. And these girls are really fighting over Melissa, aka Julia. Miss Julia. Girl, bye. Like, come on. And you kind of see in the bigger picture what the issue is that Jennifer is trying to say, oh, you're jealous. Margaret's jealous because she doesn't have family. And then Margaret is like, no. You're jealous because you don't have a marriage. Okay? And, Jen Fessler, she's funny. She's like trying to knock the issue off. Like, she's like, no. This is not Teresa's house. I have neighbors. And I'm like, at first when she said this is not Teresa's house, I'm like, okay, so we could just run amok in Teresa's house. But then she just corrects herself at the end and said, I have neighbors. And Teresa, she's like, this is the quickest I've seen Teresa. Teresa's like, I have like 6 acres. And I'm like, what the hell? This is actually quite funny. This episode has been super funny. Love. And then Fessler, I feel like Fessler's brunch is over. It's bad. And Margaret, she gets up, she's trying to leave, and Fessler's like, no, you're not trying to leave my party. You stay. And she sends her back to her seat. But then she tells Jennifer Aiden that you gotta go. And Teresa's like, if she gotta go, I'm rolling out too. And I feel like Teresa just wants to go home. Teresa, why you leave 6 acres to come to a place with neighbors? I would want to go home too. Okay? And so pretty much Jennifer Aiden and Teresa, they leave. And then for Fessler to say, oh, the party's over. Everyone got to go. I'm like, okay, theatrics. Okay, drama. Next, oh my God, guys, we get Valentina's Barbie birthday party. Because if you're not at the Barbie birthday party, where were you at? Okay? And first thing first, the party, the decor, the design, the outfits, beautiful. Even though, okay, Danielle, you look really nice. I'm giving, yes, mama, you served that. I feel like it was still a little bit themed. And I feel like you look good, but this is not the moment where I would say you look chic though. I want you to be chic without being a theme to it, because I feel like when you have a theme, it's kind of easy to like just like Barbie, do pink, beautiful blonde hair, and cute dress. But I need to see a moment for you. I need to see a moment, and then in that moment, you need to say, Jackie, do I look good? Okay, I feel like that should be her running line in this show. Like, that's the line I want for Miss Danielle. So Rachel, she comes in and she sees Danielle, and they're talking, and Rachel feels for Jennifer, but they kind of have a bad start, so she don't know where she's really at. Like, she's kind of she's trying to take a pace to their friendship, And when Jennifer makes it to the party, I was surprised. I'm like, okay, maybe Jennifer got the disinvite because we saw Rachel, and maybe we won't see Jen, but Jen, she comes to the party. And Jen, she comes to the party with her kids, and her kids get along with everybody. Her kids are sweet. And Rachel and Jen, they bond a little bit because their kids are bonding. And, she checks in with Jen, and Jen just feels like everything she says gets spun around. And the thing is that she doesn't like that everything she says get manipulated and everyone is being sneaky about it. And the thing is that the two ladies, they don't really come to a resolution to resolve, but they kind of call it truce as they're, taking a break of the fighting, but they got their eyes on each other, like, and they're gonna play it safe. Teresa shows up and she comes with Louis. Not many husbands, they showed up. I don't know. The party's not over yet, but he was the first husband to show up aside for Danielle's husband. And, the kids, they make their entrance to the party, and I'm like, these kids are giving this party. They are the ones, that know how to throw a ball. See Jen Fessler, look at these kids. Jen Fessler, these are the kids that you need to ask how to throw a party, okay? They can have a moment. Interesting enough, Louis asked Jen what happened with Margaret. And, Jen, of course, she's going to open up and talk about the situation. But then Louis leaves, and Rachel and Danielle and Teresa and Jen are there to talk about the situation. And pretty much Jen, she trashes Margaret, and Teresa, she piles on to it. And, Teresa, she tells Jen, and pretty much in front of Rachel and Danielle, is better. The reason why she made up with Margaret is because it's better to be friends with her than to be enemies with her. And I thought that was interesting because I thought, she came really humble in that conversation at her house with Margaret. And I'm not to say that I was fooled to say it was genuine. I just thought that it was coming for a place that, she could at least be real about feeling sorry for some of the things that she done to Margaret. Because some of the things she done to Margaret was not cool, but some of the things that Margaret did was not cool either. So I thought that was interesting point that she makes in front of Rachel and Danielle, because Rachel is like, I'm still getting to know y'all, you ladies, okay? So she's not picking no sides, and I don't think they're looking for education either. I feel like these girls are gonna do what they do as they should. Don't join no gang, just be you, because you guys are killing it. And so we get a preview of next week's episode, and I'm so gagged. I'm like, this season is doing what it's supposed to do. It's making up for the Real Housewives Potomac, because that was sad. This season, so for this episode, I give it a 9.7. I like this episode. What did you guys think? Because this episode was really good. I feel like, okay, the title could have been different. Give it a different title. That's really all the complaints I can really give. But I feel like this was a really good episode. We didn't get much from Dolores and Paul. They had their little moments. But overall, the friend of Jen Fessler, she's carrying the episode. The new housewives, they're carrying the episode. And, Jennifer Aiden, even though I don't like how she moved, at least she's not afraid to defend herself, guys. Because damn, she really legit have to take on 5 girls at once. It's like, damn. Damn. I think the funniest moment in this episode is Danielle's kids. Oh my God, hilarious family. And I look forward to next episode. So you guys, if you like this recap, you guys know what to do. I hope you do. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Come on, let's be friends. I would love to hear what you guys think of this episode. Let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.